That Man and His Merch.
Hello and welcome to That Man, That Is Merchandise, and today we are talking about manga fatigue. Now this is another one in my tips and tricks on kind of way of collecting stuff. I've been collecting manga and figures and all sorts kinds of things for about 15 years now, and over that time I've came across a few different things. So fatigue is one of those things that pretty much every single collector will get to at some point. The reason being is that you're buying stuff, you're consuming it at such a rate, you then kind of either don't know where to go next, or you kind of feel like you're just consuming it for the sake of consuming it. This is one of the most important parts of when it comes to collecting stuff, is that you need to be enjoying what you're doing. Much like Yotsuba, enjoy everything. And the problem a lot of people have is that they feel trapped and they feel like they're buying stuff for the sake of reading it, but then they're also kind of reading for the sake of buying stuff. Especially when it comes to, I've seen a lot of people when they're seeing like when they're collecting stuff or when they're buying stuff, they're like, oh well, I'm buying it just for the sake of buying it now, and it's just like, oh well, I've been buying that much stuff, I don't know how to stop. If you ever get to that point, just stop buying stuff. Take a break for a month or two. I mean, I have got a massive stack of manga on my shelf that need to be read. I got a lot of great deals over the last month, and I have now consciously decided to just stop and just buy one or two of the ones I'm actually collecting month on month. The ones I really want to read, rather than just buying stuff. And the reason I got fatigued is because I was coming in on a night and I was just basically just like looking through my stuff and was like, well, I've got that to read, that to read, that to read, that to read, that to read. I'll read this. And then stuff gets pushed back. And for example, for me, Golden Kamuy, I absolutely love the series, but I've been pushing back and back and back. And now I'm at the point where I'm actually 5 volumes behind that I need to read. And I'm just kind of looking at it as like, oh well, I want to start again. And it's one of those things, it's just being able to manage your time a little bit more. Now you will get fatigued at some point. It's pretty much a given that it's going to happen eventually. But what you want to be doing is just ensuring that when you are feeling fatigued, to make sure you do something else. If you are feeling that you aren't reading manga, stop buying manga. Maybe go into anime or watch a few anime, or even play a game. For example, I picked up Fire Emblem Three Houses a few days ago, and my life has been pretty much just constantly on that whenever I've got a bit of spare time. I have been reading manga every now and again, but it has taken a bit of a back seat. And the reason being was because I realised that I bought a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm looking at my haul for this month and now, this month, July, and it's looking at there's about 19 volumes there of stuff that I purchased over the last few weeks. I've gotten some great deals, amazing deals, but I'm kind of now, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take a step back, I'm going to read all of that stuff, and then once we get that out of the way, that is when I'm going to start buying some more. And it's also a great way you can kind of look at previous stuff that you enjoyed. If you stop buying stuff, why not read a long series that you've got? For example, for me, Golden Kamuy is the next one I'm planning on trying to get really into. And yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, I love manga, I really enjoy it, but there needs to come to a point where you need to realise, are you just buying for the sake of buying it, or are you actually reading it? Now if you're just collecting, if you don't, and I'm sure most people who do buy this manga do read it, but it's about managing your time as well. I mean, for me, I make sure I give myself 10 o'clock. Once 10 o'clock hits, I put everything down, switch the TV off, I'll read a book or a light novel. That's me committing to that. Some nights I genuinely just don't want to do that. And some nights I kind of like, I don't want to do it, but I'll push myself on, and it does hinder it. If you're not in the mood to read stuff, don't push ahead because you've got a massive collection. that collection will always be there. But always keep in mind that if you are doing something like that, cut back. Don't buy anything new until you've caught up on it. I mean, I'm looking in my stuff of this month. I haven't read. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. I mean, I did buy a box set, which doesn't help, but yeah, it's a big, massive collection. And for example, if that takes me 1 night, 2 nights to read through each of these volumes, some of them even take 3. That's pretty much a month's worth of reading just on there. That's not including stuff like taking the time out to watch anime. That's not including time to read the weekly Shonen Jump stuff. That's not including stuff to read the weekly J Novel Club updates. That is a lot of stuff that you need to be committing yourself to. And I feel that people are kind of buying, but then no. So for me, I am currently going through a manga fatigue. I am purposely reading. I'm purposely playing Fire Emblem rather than reading manga, because I'm at the point where I just like, I've got that much manga to read and catch up on. I genuinely don't want to do it. I kind of went through the same thing with anime. I went through. I've got about 20 anime series I need to actually read. I need to actually watch, and I kind of was just like, you know what? I'm gonna stop buying stuff, and I'm just gonna relax a little bit more. Just buy the stuff that I'm really urgently wanting. For example, the Gundam ones, they're selling out before they get released, so I'm just like, well, I need to get that. Whereas other stuff like One Piece and Overlord and stuff like that, I'm kind of just like, you know what, I like it, but they'll be around for a while. I'll stay by it. It's a difficult thing to train your mind to do, because you're that used to buying it. Once you kind of go into buying stuff, it just takes off, and especially if you're consuming a lot of series at once. But yeah, the fatigue is real. You probably will hit it at some point. The way I suggest to kind of, if you are feeling fatigued when it comes to collecting manga or reading manga or consuming something, is 1, stop it, take a break, a few days, a week. 2, don't buy any more. And 3, if it's a specific series, why not try something else? For example, I've been trying to catch up on Yotsuba, and I'm on to volume 10 now, but then I'm kind of like, I want a break from Yotsuba. I'm going to read Cells at Work. And it just little bit breaks and stuff like that, they do make things move a lot better. Or try and give yourself goals. For me, for example, Kimetsu no Yaiba, I'm trying to catch up with that. I read a load of it, and then I'm kind of like, can't be bothered. But it's like, I'm giving myself a goal, 2 or 3 chapters a day. I'll catch up eventually. No one needs to be on top of stuff as soon as they come out. It's impossible to do so. You enjoy what you're doing and enjoy everything. And that's it from me. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.